Hello and welcome to the midday show. My name is Adrian and I welcome you to the show. So what I'd love to do to begin with, if I may, if somebody's jumping on, is just to give me the heads up that you can see me and hear me well. So if you could just type something in the chat for me, just to say, yes, Adrian, I can see you, it's clear, and I can hear you, it's clear. So just okay with a thumbs up, or a yes would be absolutely fantastic. That way I know I'm being seen and heard, which is really important when we're doing things live on social media. So if you can see and hear me, just a little yes, it'd be great. Hey Patricia, you're in early, fantastic. You'll be the first one I contact, Patrice. You'll be the first one I contact to book in for a free session with me. So this is all about, getting that session with me, ascertaining where you are, what's going on in your life, and how we can then take you to that next level in life, because this is all about life mastery. Thank you, Patrice. Thank you, Alexandra. And thank you, I really appreciate that. Yep, thank you, Leanne. So really good. So I'm down here in Coolangatta. It's just beautiful. I'm in the shade, I'm under cover because it's a very hot day here. I'm by the ocean. And probably about 1:05 I'll be in the water having a swim after I finish this 1 hour show, and I absolutely just love it down in this area. I've been down here in Coolangatta this morning. I am a team leader for a BX networking breakfast. It's all about getting business, getting referrals and building the business and getting the networking happening. So I'm taking on the leadership role down here. So today was the second meeting, and then we have a break until January 2020, and I'm really looking forward to getting the business opportunities happening for people in and around Coolangatta Gold Coast. We've actually got 5 different meetings on the Gold Coast at the moment, and we're extending that next year to many more, and also up in Brisbane. So if you have a small business, you want to get referrals in the business, you want to get that going, part of what I do now in terms of my business consultations is to help people to get involved in the BX networking as well, because it's about referrals, it's about people helping us in our business to move forward. And that's what I want to do today. I want to help you, not just in your business, but in your life. I want to help you to bring more life mastery into your life. I want to help you to get better at life, and physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, vocationally, sexually, intimately, creatively, financially, all those areas of life. I want to help you to go to the next level, because that's what I do. It's what I'm destined to do. It's what I'm here on the planet to do. I really feel that. I love this work. I've been doing it for over 20 years. I love helping people. I love to inspire. I love to positively challenge. I love to see people getting breakthroughs, because it's very possible. But what I say to people, and people on here listening in today, watching in today, it's possible when you do the work. Because if you're just going to sit back in the armchair and watch The Simpsons and drink beer, or sit and do the crocheting, or just relaxing and doing nothing and just dreaming about it, nothing really changes. So we have to create what I call the vision, and then we do the plan, and then we do the action. And it's the action stage that is often missing. I come onto the show here, and every week I've been doing this for over 12 months now. We get, I think last week there were nearly 500 views and watchers of the show. Sometimes it gets over to 1,000, and I get people booking in, talking to people, and I really get a sense people have that vision. They know what they want to go to, and if they don't, that's where I help them. I help them get the vision, create the vision. But a lot of people have a vision. I want to be doing this. I want this in my life. I want to be living by the ocean. I want to be having a great relationship. I want to have more sex, more creativity, more money in my life. So the vision, or the desire is there. The desire is there. Then we create the vision. And then there's maybe a bit of planning on the back of an envelope, because it's not really engaging in terms of the plan. And then, of course, there's no action. So people stay in what we call the hope space. They hope for change. They hope for change in life, and hope is okay, but we've got to go to the next level. And what I really want to establish here today, if we can, with you, with your questions, is how to break through. We're nearly in 2020. Let's create that 2020 vision together, because at the moment, there's quite a lot of people watching in here at the moment, listening in, and I know all of you, because I'm in the same boat, want more out of life. I want more physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, sexually, creatively, financially, vocationally. All those different things. I want it too. I'm hungry for it. I have a desire for change too. The difference might be that I already have my coaches, I already have my team in place. I already have the people to inspire me, to challenge me, to push me when I need a push. I have my mastermind partner, I have my therapists, I have my team leaders, I have my business coaches and mentors. And I've had it for a long time in place. And I still get stuck, and I still need a challenge, and I still need pushing. But I certainly do the work, daily work. I do my study, I do my spiritual study, I do my meditations, go to the gym, go to the yoga, watch my diet. I don't always get it right. But when I do the self-evaluation for myself, because I've been doing this for a long, long time, I'm in that 80-20 or 90-10 principle a lot. So that extra 10 or 20% is where I do my challenge, where I do my work, where I'm in the grit and I have to do the changes. But it starts with a vision. So my question for you today is, what's your vision? Do you have a vision for yourself, where you need to be in the next 6 or 12 months? What do you want to create in 2020? Have you got some plans in place? How are you going to take the action? So if there's any area of your life right now where you need a bit of support to break through, please type it in the chat and we'll see what we can do. So remember, this is not about me being a psychic. This is not me about downloading information through spirit. It's not what I do on this show today. This is more about coaching, mentoring, inspiring, giving you insights, giving you understanding of how you might be able to break through if you're a bit stuck. So I want to get you back on track. I want to keep you on track. I really want to inspire you to get something more out of life. I really do. I really want to inspire you to go to that next level. So if you have a question in there about anything that's going on in your life right now, then please just type it in there. Remember, if you type a question, it's also going to help others, because others may be a bit fearful of asking a question, or maybe they don't know they need to ask that question. So I know that when you type a question in, it at least affect at least 2 or 3 at least other people. So you're paying it forward as well by helping others by asking the question. So, and try and be a bit specific if you can with a question. Try not to be too generic, because then I can only give generic answers or insights. So if you have something, please type it in there while I have a quick drink. I was talking to somebody this morning in the BX meetings, and it's all about business, all about referrals. And one of the people in there, while I was having we do 5-minute, one-to-one sessions to get to know each other and get the rapport happening, so we can start to refer for each other. And this person said to me that they had just started to become a coach and they want clients. And I said to him, so who's your coach? And he said, I don't have one. I said, well, how can you trust others to come to you as a coach if you don't have a coach yourself? So step number 1 for all coaches is to have a coach. It's like a healer. If you're a healer, who's your healer? It's like we need that person to be there to teach us too, because we're all students. Otherwise it's just all about ego. I don't need a teacher. I'm beyond having a teacher. I'm beyond having a mastermind partner. I'm beyond having a healer. I'm beyond having a psychotherapist to have sessions. Because that's ego. That's ego teaching. And that's not where I want to be. So I've got a great team of people. My wife Arlene is one of the best healers, best psychotherapists on the planet I know. And I choose to go to her. She takes her wifey hat off. And I go in the room and I come out sweating. I come out and I'm ready to get into that space with them. When I come out, it's like, wow, I've done some heavy work, and I've broken through, because she has the ability to work with me to break through, because we have a rapport, we have trust. So you have to get that with the coach, with the client, with the students. But for me, it's about having my team around me. So it's about getting your team around you. So some important thing from Patrice, just started lunch break. Well done for stopping for lunch. Because you know what, people in the personal development, spiritual development space often do not even stop for lunch to look after themselves. Do not even stop, to drink their 2 or 3 litres of water a day, which by the way is probably what you should be drinking, because just to stay hydrated we need 2 or 3 litres a day. So well done Patrice, 10 out of 10 for you for stopping for lunch. Life is too short not to make the most of it. Go hard and long. Yep, it is, Leanne, and it's all about putting things into place, to having the vision, having the plan, and having the action, so that life we live is in that 80-20 80-20 principle, or the 90-10 principle, or if you can push with it, the 95-5 principle. But it takes work, it takes vision, it takes practice, it takes planning, it takes action. It really does. Like, if you want to get the best out of life, what is the vision for that? Are you living that physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, sexually, financially, creatively? Are you spending every day in the fullness of life? That's living, and I love to be in that space. Don't always get it right, but when I do, it's beautiful. So Lisa, getting on top of my health, please, in every way. It's really up and then really down. So Lisa, up and down health. So the question that I would have for you is, how do you spend each day? Where do you take responsibility to keeping your health in that high percentage so it stays up? And I'm talking about physical health, emotional health, mental health and spiritual health, and maybe financial health and sexual health and relationship health and all those other things too. And what I'd suggest you is get really clear on how you spend your day. What are you doing every single day to the best of your ability to stay in good health? Are you getting up in the morning and doing some meditation, some yoga, some gym, a swim, a run, a walk? Are you stopping to do the self-reflection, self-evaluation of how you are right now in your life? Are you eating the right meals? Are you the right shape? Are you carrying the right weight load, the body fat load, the muscle load? Are you studying? Are you using your intellect, your mind? How's your relationship with people? Are you drinking the water? If you're on meds, do they need changing and reducing a bit? Or do you need to change them to a bit more alternative? There's many, many ways to bring ourselves to that next level, and it's about taking responsibility to do a self-evaluation. And this is what I do with people. If you type in, anybody on here listening in, if you want a free session with me, type in "I am ready," and I'll contact you rather than contacting me to book in for a free session. And what we just do that self-evaluation. I go through the list with you and I say, where are you right now in your life? Right now, we do the evaluation. We say, right, where does it need to change? So we do the vision, where do you want to be? We do the plan, and then we put things into action. And I'm telling you, in a matter of days, weeks or months, you can have amazing turnarounds in your life. This time last year, I was in the middle of a process, a 12-week process to lose 16 kilos of body fat. And I did. From October through to January, 3 months, my focus was to lose, my body fat, and I lost 16 kilos. It was a focus, and I did it. And I had a coach. So now I coach people that do the same. I've actually just spoke to 2 men yesterday. One wants to lose 8 kilos and one wants to lose 10 kilos. And I said, we can do that. We can do that in like 12 weeks. Easy, probably 8 weeks. But you have to follow a process. You've got to get the daily routine happening for you. So Lisa, if you want to get on top and stop going down, you have to take responsibility for your daily actions. What are you not doing well enough? What's the next level of health for you? And there's many levels of health. And it might be 1 or 2 specific things in your daily life, your life in general, that's bringing everything else down. And if you just do that one thing, it might be communication. That might be low and that might be bringing you down. It might be emotional health, If you get that up, everything else will feel better. So that's what I'd share. I hope that's a bit helpful for you, Lisa. If you want to go down the rabbit hole with that, ask another question. Alexandra, I have a plan and I start tackling it, but I don't get so far, and then I crack me through. I want to get to my goal. I don't understand why I lose the motivation. Okay, great question, Alexandra. So what we do, we create the vision, and that's the most important. You may not have the vision. So the planning is okay, but if you don't have the clear vision, plans are a waste of time. So what is your absolute vision? And when I say vision, it's not just some construct on the back of an envelope. For me, when I do my vision, is I write my vision. I desire my vision. I do my vision board, and I've got a particular way I do the vision boarding. It's not just a matter of just sticking bits of pictures on a board. That's not, that's sort of 101 vision boarding. There's another level to that where you really work with it. So you create that vision first, and that can take some real work, because what happens is the subconscious mind works in 2 ways. It works in the old story, and if we do the work, it'll work in the new story. And a lot of people are still operating out of the old paradigm, the old story. I don't deserve it. I don't deserve it. You know, you can create the $1 million dream, but if there's a little voice in the back of the subconscious mind saying you don't deserve it, you're not good enough, you're never going to get there, it's never going to happen. So we have to change the story. The subconscious mind needs changing. So we have to work on this daily. We have to work on the vision board daily through meditation, through visualization, by dealing with those old saboteurs, those old stories. And this is where, for me, the psychotherapy comes in. So it's okay coaching people through this, but if there's some old belief systems in there, some old stories in there, some old wounds in there, oftentimes that takes a psychotherapeutic process to break out of those old stories, those old wounds, those old childhood stories, the things that were delivered to us from our parents and the education system. They are deeply embedded. For some of us, they've been embedded for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years. So we have to go right down in there and bring them up, bring them out of the quagmire into the light, and then we have to deal with them, and we have to put them to bed and deal with them. And this is where for me, the skill of the psychotherapy and the coaching and counselling and mentoring come in, because I can work with people on that next level under. So, great coaching. The coaching is great in business, but if you don't clear the saboteurs, if you don't clear the old stories, it's very hard to go forward. Yeah, so I hope that helped you, Alexander. So I'd suggest, if you want to break through, type in "I am ready," and I will give you a call and set a time and a date, and we can have that free 20-minute consultation to get this get you motivated, get you started, and then if there's a rapport, we can do more work together. If not, you still end up with a 20-minute free consultation anyway, and I'm sure you'll get something from that. So, because that motivation is really important, and I'd say the motivation is you're not clear on your vision, because if you've got a clear vision, the motivation will stay forever and ever and ever. You've got to get clear on the vision. What do you really want? What do you really desire? And you may not be desiring enough. Your desire might be too small, and it's not enough to motivate you. I have big plans for 2020, like huge plans, like way out of the cosmos plans. And the desire is there to get them. If I play small, my mind is small. If I play big, I can get my subconscious mind in that bigger space. And then if I only reach half of my dream, am I going to complain? No, I'm not, because I'm going to be 50% more than I am now. If you want $1 million and it's on your vision board and you get there and you only get $500,000 next year, are you going to complain? Oh, damn, I didn't make $1 million. Or are you going to celebrate you got half? So it's about thinking big, getting the vision in there. So, Alexandra, I think it might be that maybe your vision isn't big enough, and that's why you're losing motivation. So please, let's connect. If you want to type it in, I'm ready. We can have that session. So Lisa, with 3 young toddlers and chronic illness, all factors of my health are very high energy, then very low. Yep. So it's about, what is that chronic health? How can you move beyond that? Are you doing the best thing for you to move you through that? Are you moving through that in the best way? Are you getting the best therapists, the best doctors, the best treatments, the best meds? Are you doing that? Are you in meditation? Are you doing pain management? Are you doing poultices? Are you having beautiful warm baths with bubbles and candles? What are these things you need? What's the next level? Because there's always another level. Always another level. I was speaking to a friend today at the BX networking. He's got a space, a recovery center, the Atlantis Recovery Center in Robina, and he's got a water treadmill in there. The only water treadmill in Australia for human beings. There's others for racehorses and animals, dogs and things, but this is for humans. And people with injuries, leg injuries, foot injuries, and people who don't have a lot of body strength go into this water. So there's a weightlessness, and the treadmill moves underneath, and we exercise. I've been in there, it's phenomenal. So just finding something new to work with, the energy work. Are you protecting yourself from the electricity volts and the EMFs and all those energy frequencies? Have you got your energy frequency card on your phone and on your computer and in your homes to negate and to stop some of that transmissions that are negative on the body? Are you drinking your water? I'm going to keep coming back to the water. 2 or 3 litres a day, ladies and gentlemen. Minimum. Particularly this time of year in Australia with the summer coming on, probably 4 litres a day. That's only to stay hydrated, by the way. It's not even to, to go beyond that. Because if you're not drinking that, you're hydrated, then you can't think properly, you can't act properly, you may be getting headaches, the body's tired, lethargic. One of the best medicines on the planet is water. And 90% of the people on the planet don't drink enough. So just getting into a headspace around that is a huge mind shift. Seriously, whatever you're drinking right now in a day, just get a sense of it. Is it half a litre, 1 litre, 1.5 litres? You know, some people it's none, you know, like they just don't drink water, they just drink Coca-Cola and different things. But what's it going to take for you to get even to 2 litres a day, which is the absolute minimum? I'll tell you what it's going to take. It's going to take absolute dedication and commitment. And if you're not ready to commit to that, what are you ready to commit to? So I'm going to challenge you to get, and when I talk about water, I'm talking about good water as well. You know, some of the bottled water, this is not bottled water, this is actually just in a bottle. It's actually out of my Kangen machine, 9.5 pH, because I don't do anything by halves. Most people with Kangen machines do sort of the 8 or 8.5 pH. I do 9.5 because I say, like my wife Eileen says, you know, I don't do anything normal, I have to go to the next level. So I just do it because I do it. So I do 9.5, so it's Kangen water, it's, you know, really good pure water, it's good for hydration. But if you've only got tap water, at least maybe pour it into a bowl and let, you know, some of the things come off it over 24 hours, so you're actually drinking better water, or put it through a filter, or do something with it. But I'm talking about, you know, getting some good water inside you, and hydrating yourself. So the challenge is there to drink 2 litres of water a day minimum for you. So yeah, hey Annette, I'm ready, fantastic. Hey Alexander, I'm ready, fantastic. I need to lose 10. All right, Leanne, you need to lose 10 kilos. So the secret about losing 10 kilos, I lost 16 kilos in 3 months, in 12 weeks, is all about, hey Trish, nice to see you watching too. So just, I'm going to talk with Leanne, and I'm going to go back to Trish and talk about Trish in a moment. But Leanne, to lose 10 kilos, it's about setting that vision. How are you going to look after you lose 10 kilos? What do you want to be doing? What's your vision for that? And then what are your daily exercises and your daily food intake? And it's all about the kilojoules. So it's about energy exchange. So it's about how many kilojoules in and how many kilojoules out. So if you're eating things like potato chips and all those fatty things, it means you have to do more outwork, more walking, more running, more gymming, more yogaing. You know, more. So what we do, we cut out the things that require more. So a lot of it is, you know, a pure, if you can, a pure veg diet, you know, steamed, roasted with no fats, in whatever way. And if you're a meat eater, that's okay. It's just small amounts of meat. The body actually can only digest about 100 grams of meat maximum at any given time in 24 hours anyway. So most meat eaters are just reducing that down to small amounts, because you're still going to get the amount of protein you need, because the body can only actually absorb about 30 grams of protein a day. That's it. So if people are, you know, after that 100 grams of protein a day, it's actually wasted, because the body can only absorb so much, and the rest just goes to waste. So it's about understanding, you know, bringing yourself into conscious understanding of diet, of kilojoules, of protein, of what's needed to keep the body alive, and just finding that balance. So we can definitely do something with you, Lisa, if you're really serious about losing it. You know, just I'm ready is what you need to type in there. We can work together, and I can say to you, if you follow the process with me, in, you know, 2 or 3 months, that 10 kilos will be gone. All right. So, but you've got to commit to it. So, Alexander, thank you. Leanne, I'm ready. Go, great. You're ready, great. I'm just going to jump back to Trish quickly, because I see she's on here watching in. So, Trish did an interview with me, and we're going to go live on the 12th of December, I believe. And that's going to be fantastic. So that link will be in my newsletter and all over my Facebook page very, very soon. And Trish does amazing interviews, and I really enjoyed it. And Trish does great work in the healing space as well. So I just want a big shout out for Trish as well. And thanks for the interview, Trish. It was lots of fun, and I look forward to having that going out live in just a few days from now. So Alexandra, I can really see I don't have the desire. I don't really have a desire for much. Like a deep down burning desire. I will start working on that tonight. Have a meditation working. Yeah, so you've got to find that desire, Alexander. You've got to find that thing to live for, because otherwise the motivation isn't there. It's like a relationship, you know. If you're not in a relationship that is going somewhere, it's probably not much motivation to be in it, to stay in it, to be sexual in it, to be connecting in it, you know, to be intimate in it, because you have to have the desire for it, you know. You've got to find that desire, you've got to find that need, that want. And a lot of relationships, you know, they fold because the desire's not there, the desire to communicate. the desire to share, the desire to have a beautiful tantric sexual relationship, the desire to connect, be intimate, to share, to be together, to support each other. You know, that desire is so important. It's the same in business, it's the same in vocation, it's the same in life. You know, find that thing. You know, find your why. What do you want to do this for? You know, what if you think now, you know, let's do this as an exercise together, everybody, if you want to be in this with me, with Alexandra. Just take a moment. Just take a moment. If you have a magic wand, and I actually have one in my studio, people laugh when I bring out my sparkly wand. If you had a magic wand right now, and you had one desire to do something on the planet, what is that thing? What do you want to do on the planet? For you, for the community, for the planet. Doesn't matter whether it's you or the planet or humanity. But what would you love to be doing in terms of your passion right now? I'm passionate about what I do. I love helping people. I'm here to help to change consciousness on the planet, to bring the planet into a better place, to bring people into a better place. Because I love watching people grow. I love to be able to sit with somebody and communicate in a deep, conscious way, to that deep, conscious communication. But that takes work, and it takes a mind shift for a lot of people to get that space. But I love helping people to get that space. I really do. Watching people lose that weight, to bring in their mindset, to get more passionate about life, to have a better business, to have a better life. That's what I'm passionate about. It keeps me going. I wake up every morning and I'm ready to go. Do my gym, do my yoga, do my swims, do my runs, do my Facebook Lives, have my sessions with my mastermind partner, my therapist, my coaches. It's a desire to live. You know, I'm 56 years old and I feel more connected and grounded and health conscious and health wise now than I think ever in my life. It just grows every day, and that's how it should be. It's no good saying, well, I used to be fitter. Why aren't you fitter now? What went wrong? If you were fit once, where did you stop being fit? Where did you give up? Well, it might have been the desire. So there, you know, let's see what else people have to say here. Leanne, I don't eat junk food, I just don't eat enough. I'm palliative careness, and so always on my feet. Yeah, so it's about how do you not be on your feet all the time? How do you take time for self-care? Because if you're caring for others, and I used to work for this great man down in Victoria called Ian Gawler. He ran a cancer retreat centre in the Yarra Valley, and I worked there for many years with Ian. And Ian used to say, who's caring for the carer? We used to do special workshops for the carers. Who's caring for the carer? Where's the self-love? Because a lot of people in that care industry, particularly in this space, in this health and well-being and spiritual space, a lot of people just give. And that's unhealthy. There's no balance. We've got to bring ourselves in that place of balance where I give and I receive, I give and I receive, so it's balanced. And a lot of people in this space, a great amount of people in this space, just give. And it's not healthy. I see a lot of people in this space, they're carrying so much extra weight because they're not exercising. There's no self-care, no self-love there. They're eating, rubbish food. I know you're saying you're not eating rubbish food, but a lot of people do. They're not doing the meditations. They're not doing the health journey because they're over-giving. They're in essence, they're rescuers, and they haven't dealt with the rescue inside. Got to bring that back, because if you're rescuing people and you're giving, that's actually not healthy. And what you're telling people is, I want to coach you to be something I'm actually not myself. So there's have a look at that. If you're in that space, what are you not doing for yourself? How can you bring back more self-love, more self-care? It's really, really important. Self-love and self-care. I don't know if any of you ever done first aid training, because this is the analogy I often use in the health space. When you do your first aid training, they teach you a thing called Dr. ABC. Yeah, danger response. First two things, doctor. The first thing you do is check for danger. And if there's somebody lying on the other side of the room and they're unconscious, what you do is check for danger. And if there's, say, water and an electric cable there, you don't go in, because it's self-preservation, it's self-care. It's about looking after self. And I know that's really hard for some people, because they want to rescue, they want to help. But it comes back to self, because you can actually give more when one is in a better space. You really can, because you don't lose energy. You don't lose energy. When you're in a good space yourself, you don't deplete. In the health and well-being industry, nursing, doctors, all those care industries, 3 years, general burnout. Short-term burnout, medium-term burnout, or long-term burnout. 3 years, because that's all the etheric body has in its storage capacity, is about 3 years. And after 3 years, all our chi energy, our life energy, is drained, and there's nothing left. So the only thing that can happen is collapse. And that's why in the health industry, 3 years, generally, give or take, is when people do the collapse, because that's the end of the reserve of the life forces, the etheric energy or chi energy. You know, there's a process, and 3 months is like short term when people start to feel a bit iffy and they push through that. But that 3 years is about the reserves we have as human beings in terms of our life force energy. And then there's the depletion, and then people collapse. And that's when people start to get illnesses and cancers and all those other things that happen, because there's nothing left. So be really cautious about your own health and well-being. I really say that with sincerity. You know, check it out. Stay healthy, particularly if you're in the care industry, health and well-being industry, personal development, spiritual development industry. You've got to look after yourself. So just type in "I'm ready" if you want some support on that. So, Alexandra, thank you for taking the time out today. It's helping so much. I'm really glad it's helped. That's what I'm here for. This show, for 1 hour every Thursday, is about this engagement, to connect, to see what I can do to help you to move forward in life. Because the greatest thing we can do for ourselves is to grow, is to move forward, is to become more healthy, to bring in that health and well-being aspect into our being, and to be conscious of it. And I'm telling you, it's really hard work. It's really, really, really hard work. Some mornings, you know, getting out of bed to go to the gym, to do my yoga, to go for my run, to go for my walk, to do my meditations. Sometimes my body and my mind just do not want to do it. And I have to find something within me, you know, that commitment within me, that source of spirit within me, to go and do it. Once I've done it, I feel great. But there's that old self, you know, like it's just constant. I don't know if it ever goes away, you know, I'm hoping one day it might. But to date it hasn't. It's still there some mornings. Oh, just stay under the doona. You don't have to do this. Why don't you just take a day off, you know? Nobody will know. Well, yeah, I will know. I will notice. I'll notice in 2 or 3 hours time when I'm cranky, or when I'm not energized, or when I feel like, what did I miss today? Well, I didn't do my meditation, didn't do my yoga gym, or whatever it is I do in the morning. I don't do the same thing every morning. I've got a bit of a routine. I generally go to the gym 3 times a week, and I run 2 or 3 times a week. And when I can, I try and then go and have a swim as well. You know, with the weather warming up now in summer, it's crazy not to be swimming. Hence living on the Gold Coast by the ocean, so I can actually swim. I'll be in the ocean just after 1 o'clock today, having a really good swim on the waves. By the look of it, it looks like I'm going to get a body surfing as well, which is really exciting because I love body surfing. So that's really exciting, because a part of it as well, part of life is bringing in the joy, and having that joy. And it's a big part of life. Yeah, how can we find joy? How can we find laughter, fun, connection? And for me, when I'm in the ocean, when I'm body surfing, I'm in joy. I'm in my element of joy. I love it. I just love getting on the top of that wave and taking my body for 20 or 30 or 40 meters into the beach, and I'm in absolute heaven and joy. It's just amazing. When I'm in a good space in my relationship, I'm in joy. When I'm with my grandkids and my children, I'm in joy. When I'm with friends, I'm in joy. This morning I was presenting at the BX networking, and up at the front of the stage, and I love, in that leadership role, I love presenting. I'm in my joy, I'm in my space. It's pretty amazing, I just love it. So part of it is when we're in that health and well-being space, we feel good about ourselves and we feel the self-love, there's more joy. There's more endorphins, there's more happening within, and the joy exudes a little bit more. So, yeah, salt water, I love it. I love being in the ocean, and just absolutely, yeah, love it. Like being in lakes and different things as well, but it's something me about the ocean and that salt and the eons in the air, the ions in the air. Just absolutely, just love it. And today the water is absolutely crystal clear here on the Gold Coast down in Coolangatta. It's made, and the beach is pretty full. It's Thursday lunchtime, and yeah, pretty amazing just watching everybody enjoying that beautiful sunshine and soaking up that warmth and soaking up joy for life. It's a pretty amazing place. So let's see if there's any more questions in there. Let's see what's happening. So if you want that free session, 20 minutes with me, type in "I am ready." I will contact you. We will set a time and a date. I'll phone you. I'll send you a message on Messenger. Then we'll have a phone call. We'll actually get our diaries. We'll set a date, and then we'll make that happen. We really will. We'll really make something happen for you. Now let's make the end in 2019, the next 2 or 3 weeks, the time for change, so that when we step into 2020, we're already emotional, ready to start the motion for a big life change. So I don't know about you, but from a astrological perspective and an energy perspective, 2020 is going to be huge. And if we all get behind that positive energy for 2020 and we create a positive energy collectively, amazing things on the planet can happen. If we go into 2020 with the idea that it's going to be a bit negative and things aren't going to work, and we do that as a collective, we'll probably keep that energy down. So collectively, we can all work together and support each other, sharing and helping. Because also when you do the work on yourself, you can also share that with others too, particularly if you're in the leadership role yourself in some way. Even as a parent, mother, father, that's a leadership role. And if your children can see you doing it, they might go, well, you know what? There might be something in this. There might be something in this. And your friends and your family. You know, I have people that I meet now, and they go, wow, you're looking pretty good. You know, what's going on? I say, well, you know, I made a choice. I made a choice to lose a bit of weight, do a bit of running, do more yoga, do more gym, you know, be more conscious of my diet. And it's paid off. I feel amazing. So what happens is my energy field, you know, some people read energy fields and that's all well and good. So, you know, if you're sitting there now and you're an energy reader, have a look. As you can see it on the screen. Some people can do screen readings and some it has to be in real life. But when people meet that, they might not be able to see it, but they feel it. They feel that vibrant energy. They feel the vibrant energy. And for some people, they want some of that. You know, they want to suck some of that energy. So for me, it's about having a clear boundary where I give my energy when I choose to give it away. I don't let people take my energy, so I have a very clear boundary. So if people are standing too close to suck it, I just make the space, so I have an energy field that's clean. If people start to engage and they're needy, I have ways of stopping that neediness and bringing it back to themselves and finding out what the need is and not giving away something to fill them from me. So part of the personal development work is about clear boundaries. And I know there's a lot of people in that industry whose boundaries are very thin, very thin, very thin. People take for more time and then they get exhausted. So the boundary work is really important. I love boundary work. I love working with it. And when I do my workshops, I've actually got some hula hoops that we use, these amazing, and we do this whole fun thing around understanding energy fields and understanding boundaries. And getting people to feel that boundary. Where is your boundary? Are you really clear where the edge of your boundary field is? And there's different types of energy fields. You know, you have your auras and, you know, your etheric field and your astral field and your spiritual field and your all different things. People have got different names, different words for them. But it's about getting clear, like, where's my energy boundary? And I'll just use that generically because I don't want to complicate things with different names for energy fields. But if I'm sitting here and I'm meeting somebody, how close can they come into my space before they disrupt that energy field? I'm okay if I'm solid, but if they come too close, I'm going to do one of three things, and we all do this. I'm going to go into fight, flight, or freeze because I'm feeling uncomfortable. I'm going to go into antipathy, probably not sympathy because they're in too close. So I need to push them away to get a balance again. So I'm going to create a reaction with them because I'm not feeling safe or it just doesn't feel good. And then as soon as we're in that space, realize what's going on, we've created a conflict. So when we learn about healthy boundaries, we reduce conflict. Funny that, really funny that, but it's very true. The more we take responsibility for our own boundaries, in our professional life, in our working life, in our relationships, all those things, and we hold that solid energy, it's quite amazing what happens. Life changes around us. But that takes a lot of work because what happens is, you know, two things. That happens where people get comfortable in our new boundaries, or because they're used to such a habit of a game that gets played and habits that get played, then when we stop that with a new energy field or a new choice or a new boundary, they react to that because it's different. It's a different vibration than they're used to. It's like drinking the same cup of tea, you know, for 20 years. and you go to the cafe to get the same cup of tea that you've been drinking for 20 years, and suddenly they've run out of that tea, or the producer stopped making tea, and they give you something different. It's like, oh, you're either going to really enjoy the new taste, or you're going to go, oh, that's not what I'm used to. And you're going to react to it and probably say to the person, I don't like this tea. And it may be consciously not like it, but it might be just out of habit. You're so used to something that you haven't got the space to let something else in because there's an instant reaction. Or it might be, oh, this is nice. I'm going to try this for a little while. And we do this all the time. We go into sympathy with something and enjoy it, or we're going into antipathy with something and we don't enjoy it. So yeah, go and study antipathy and sympathy for a while, with people, with relationships, with yourself. It's a very interesting topic. I'm probably only one of the only people I know in the coaching psychotherapeutic space that works with sympathy and antipathy. If there's anybody else that does, it'd be great, because I love a conversation. I love philosophical and therapeutic conversations. I love to have a cup of coffee with you and sit, and we can talk about sympathy and antipathy and your understanding it and mine, and swap ideas and thoughts. So if there's anybody out there that's doing it that I don't know of, because I haven't come across anybody yet, but if there is somebody, please connect. I've been studying this too. I've been studying sympathy and antipathy for like 25 years now. Get a bit of an understanding of how it affects the body, what it does to the soul, what it does to the energy field, what it does to the throat and to the communication space. There's so many aspects to sympathy and antipathy that I've been studying and looking at and working with myself. So to have somebody else on board would be great to share that with. It would be quite amazing. But if not, go and do your own study around it. And if you want to know more, let's have that conversation. I can teach you a bit about how you can bring that into your life as well, in terms of understanding, using that, using the mind. Trying to get the mind into that mental space, So, hey, I'm ready, fantastic. So I'll be contacting you too, and we'll be setting up a space for you. So look, I'm just going to do a bit of a time check, 12:42. So we've got about, quarter of an hour left on here. So if there's any more questions, otherwise I can just rant and rave all day long. I really can. I'm a Reiki level 2. Yep. Fantastic. So the question is, Leanne, are you ready for the next level? What will that take? What will it take you to go to the next level? If you want healings yourself, do you go to that level, the next level, or where do you go for your own healings? Who's your Reiki teacher? Who's your Reiki practitioner? What do you get in terms of energy work? Because it's okay giving it, if you're a Reiki master, or you're a Reiki level 2 and you're giving that, what are you getting back? Really important. Give and take, finding that balance.
Why don't you
More water time. That feels good. Nothing like a drop of water. So if there's any more questions out there, anything going on for you right now, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, financially, sexually, intimately, creatively, then just type it in there. And if you have a question, I will then come in if I can with an answer, or some insight, or some thoughts. And if you can be clear about it, remember, I'm not doing the psychic work today. I'm not doing the psychic work, but I am doing the coaching, mentoring, psychotherapy work with you today. I need to receive more. I just give at the moment. Yeah, absolutely. So you have to put that in place, Leanne. You've got to get clear on what it is you want to receive. What do you desire? What do you want? Like right now, if you could receive anything from anybody or the universe or from yourself, what would be the one thing you would ask right now to receive? Let's start there. And if anybody else wants to type something in, you may. Right now, one thing. If it could be delivered to you right now, what would you ask for? It's a great place to start. Okay, while Leanne's typing something in, maybe she does. Alexandra, how does depression and anxiety affect life visions? Hugely. Because when we are depressed, when we are pushed down, when the soul is pushed down, because that's what depression is, yeah. Depression is being pushed down, yeah. And anxiety is fear, yeah. Anxiety is fear. of course it's going to affect your life vision, because you can't think clearly. You cannot vision clearly when you're depressed or when you're in anxiety, because what will happen is I have a vision for something and then the fear's going to come in. Oh, I can't do that. You know, you're going to go out to do something and the depression will say, you can't do that because I'm depressing your thoughts, I'm depressing your energy. Yeah. I've got a big bunch of people here just come to have a bit of a barbecue. I'm onto the barbecue area down here on the beach, so I'm going to speak a little bit louder because there are people around me. It's all good. It's all about community. It's all about shared space, and I do have a shared space, and so I'm going to talk a little bit louder on here on the live for the next 10 minutes. But yeah, absolutely, Alexandra, that will affect. What we have to do is look at the depression. You know, what if this is you, if you're feeling anxious and depressed, what's depressing you? What is depression? Because depression, like this is a controversial, but that's me, I'm pretty controversial in everything I do anyway. Depression can be clinical. Yep, can be clinical. There can be some synapses in the mind that are going on. But for me, depression is when we're not fulfilling our soul's desire, when we're not following our passion, when we're not following our vocation, we're not following that spiritual path. So yeah, people say, you know, they get visits from the black dog, they get visits from negative thoughts. Yep, I get them too. We all do. We all get negative thoughts. We all get, you know, things, the voice. We all get the feeling of being depressed. Most people on the planet get that. Different levels, but a lot of it's the soul work. What are you doing to keep the soul alive? What are you doing to keep the physical body healthy? Because people who get depressed, generally, when I meet them, they're not looking after themselves in a diet. You know, it could be the Coca-Cola diet, the junk food diet, all those things that depress, that keep us out of the good energy. You know, like it's hard to keep going with all that negativity in the physical body. So of course depression is going to set in. We're not going to feel good about ourselves, consciously and subconsciously. So it's about lifting the depression and doing expansion work. So a lot of depression work for me is around artwork, creativity, you know, good sex, good intimacy, good communication, good social life, getting ourselves out of that inward depression. So it's going to get in the way of the vision. So we can do lots of work on depression. You know, clear meditation. If you're feeling depressed, meditate. Positive. Go and do some artwork. Go and have a swim. Go and find some joy. Go and watch a comedy. And find out what's caused the depression. What is the thing? To name it. What is the cause of the depression? And anxiety, I'd say, is just fear. It's a posh name for fear. What's the fear? What are you scared of? And most people are scared of living life well. Really, you know, breaking out of the old paradigm, breaking out of the social constraints or the family constraints, societal constraints, of actually having an amazing life. It takes a lot of courage to do that. And anxiety gets in the way. So, Alexander, I am ready is what I want to see. If you haven't done it, I'll have to check. I think you have. And let's work on that. Yeah, Lulu, healing my heart is a big thing to heal the heart, particularly if it's been wounded. You know, you've got the wound in there. What is it going to entail to heal the heart? Well, probably some deep work to take the wound out, to move on. Psychotherapeutic work. You know, we can't coach people out of healing the heart. That's therapy work. That's finding out what the wound is, healing the wound, taking it out, so that next time something comes along the wound, we're not projecting the blame onto somebody else, because that's what we usually do. So Leanne, you have made me think more water already. Yeah. Drink water. Think water, drink water. Think water, drink water. Think water, drink water. Think water, drink water. 2 litres a day, minimum. Get your bottles already in the fridge. Write times on them when you have to go and drink it. Set your alarm clock on the hour every hour. And go and have a drink of water, whatever it takes. Because you have to change and shift the subconscious mind. Because if it's a pattern of not drinking, it's going to take some change. So you've got to put resources and tools in place to do it. So set your alarm, put it in the fridge, have your bottles ready, line them up on the counter. You know, get 2 or 3 big bottles, whatever you need to do. But you need to do something. Alexandra, the deep down happiness is what I want. Okay, so you've got to name what that is, you know, and we can do that, Alexandra. We can have a session around that. We can find out what's your true desire for happiness. It could be, you know, friendship, partnership, sense of self, vocation. Could be, you know, have you got a spiritual path? Can you connect the spirit? Is there an unhappiness about not having that? You know, what's the old story in there? Let's unwind the old story. Let's put a new story in its place, and let's bring some joy and happiness into your life. But we've got to find out what it is you want. You know, deep down, you're right there. We have to go deep. We have to go down the rabbit hole. And we can do that through the psychotherapy. I've been doing psychotherapy now for a long time. We do it in a very holistic manner. You know, we go there. You know, I'm not afraid to go there with people. And we just change people's lives. You know. So for anybody listening in right now, if you want a free 20-minute session with me, type the words "I'm ready." I'll contact you. Yeah, I'll contact you. We'll find a time and a date. We'll set up those sessions, and then if you choose to, we can do more work together. We can do workshops. We can do one-on-one work. You can get my my programs. You know, there's lots of different things I can do. You know, different times, different energies, different monies. We've all got different paradigms around that. Some people are time poor, some people are energy poor, some people are money poor, some people are time rich, energy rich, money rich. You know, we've all got different currencies, and time, energy, money are the three currencies I work in, but we have to engage in them at some point if we want to move forward. We have to put in the time, we have to put in the energy, and we certainly have to put in the money as well. That's what we do. I mean, I have to make a living too, so I can't do everything free. So at some point I charge. And I'm not a cheap coach, a cheap therapist in terms of, you know, I work on a higher scale because I know what I give is great value. So I value my work at a certain place. I probably still undervalue, according to my coach, I still undervalue. And that's a mindset I'm going to break through in 2020, is to go to that next level there as well for myself. Because if people value the work, yeah, they'll do the work. If they don't value it, they won't do the homework. So it's about me valuing that work. And I say to people, if you go into take your car into the garage, and the mechanic says, hey, you know, there's a rattle, it's going to cost you $2,000 to get it fixed. You find the money. You do the rattle. You just have to do it, you know, like it's going to get worse. But if there's a rattle of the soul, a rattle of the spirit, and I said to you, it's going to cost you $2,000, it's going to cost you like a program or 10 sessions or 20 sessions with me, you might balk at it, but you spend it on your car. If you had a dog or a cat, or a budgerigar, and the vet said, ooh, you know, there's some healing needs to be done on your animal, it's going to cost you $1,000 or $2,000, or even $200 or whatever it is, you'd probably find the money and do it. But there's a whole paradigm about self-love and self-care and self-worth, and we have to get to that place. Got to value what gets done is going to change us. This is medium, long-term investment in yourself, time, energy, money, and I'm willing to do that with you, as long as you're willing to put in the time, the energy, and the money yourself to do the work. Really, really, really. So we've probably got time for one or maybe two more questions if you have something there. Do you want to go down the rabbit hole a bit deeper for those that have been communicating? You can do that, or if there's something new. Yeah. I welcome that. Because I'll finish up at 1 o'clock Queensland time. And I'm really desiring that ocean. I'm really desiring a bit of body surfing and a swim. I'm actually got a bit of time this afternoon because I'm going to Coolangatta Airport to pick up my beautiful wife who's been down in Melbourne for a week, and she flies in about 4 o'clock, so I do have a window of opportunity for me time for a little while. I've also got to go around Coolangatta and do a bit of business connecting ready for 2020 to get the BX networking meetings going, and I'll be doing that for an hour, but I'm going to give myself a bit of time out today and just preparation time to reconnect with Arlene. She's been away for a week, so she's had time to, you know, she won't be the same woman coming back. I won't be the same man coming back into a relationship after 7 days, because we change, we develop, we grow. You know, I've grown over 7 days, and I know she's grown over 7 days. I've had some therapy, some work, and some masterminding, and some thinking, and some planning, and some visioning, and some actions in the last 7 days. So I'm not the same energy as when she left. So when we meet again, it's like, oh, okay, let's just realign into this new beingness, new connection, because we're different again. We're different every day, but a week's a big time in relationship if we do the development work, and we certainly both committed to development work. So a week for us is a big time away. If I'm away, you know, we were away. Arling was overseas for 6 weeks, and I was over in India for a couple of weeks, so we actually didn't see each other for quite a while. So when we came back, it was like, whoa, okay, who are we now in this relationship? Where are we? How do we need to relate here? And it took a little bit of, you know, realigning each other very beautifully, but it took a bit of a dance. And I'm looking forward to this new dance with Arlene in a few hours' time to see, you know, what the new dance is. Quite exciting. So, hi, Karen. So if you have a last question, anybody, this is the time to ask it. Remember, if you ask a question for yourself, you can guarantee somebody else will get something from the answer from that question. So pay it forward if you have a question, because somebody else will actually benefit as well. Water. So, 600 ml of water in an hour. So you times that every hour, 10 hours a day, that's 6 litres of water. Probably quite don't do 6, but I certainly would do 3 plus. So I'll be filling this water. I'm not at home, so I carry a water container in the boot of the car, like a 5 litre container of Kangen water if I'm out for the day, and I just keep topping up. And there's also, up and down the Gold Coast here, we do have the taps where I can fill up as well. It's not the greatest water, it's full of chlorine and all those things they've got to put in for public health safety, but at least it's water. It's better than nothing. I don't enjoy drinking it, but at the last resort I will. But most generally I carry a 5 litre container of Kangen water around in the car, and just top it up, keep it wrapped up in a blanket so it doesn't get over hot in the boot. And if it's a bit warm, it's okay, but I do keep that drink aspect up. So really, really important. So I don't know what you've drunk in the last hour or however long, but I hope it's up to at least a glass of water or more. So look, we're getting close to the hour of 1 o'clock Queensland time. Got about 4 minutes left. So what I'd like to do is just close with a bit of a thought. And the thought is that I want you to engage with and to ask yourself is, where am I right now in my life, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, financially, sexually, intimately, creatively, socially, and any other area that comes to mind. And in any of those areas, which ones are not peaking? Which ones are not high vibration? Which ones are you not living to the fullest in? Just ask that for yourself right now. Physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, financial, sexual, intimate, creative, social. Which areas? And then the question is, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? I meet people, and I'm in the space often, and I say to people, how are you? And they go, oh, I'm okay, but, blah, blah. And I go, okay. And what are you doing about it? And it's like they stop and they look at me and go, what do you mean? What am I doing about it? I said, well, that's my question. You tell me, you're getting headaches, or you're sick, or you've got a bad knee, or, you've got some cancer lump in your left shoulder, or, whatever's going on. I've got earache or nose ache, or I've got a sore eye. And I say, so what are you doing about it? And a lot of people aren't doing anything about it. They're sitting in the suffering, they're sitting in the pain, they're sitting in the denial. Just about, what are you doing about it? So my question to you right now is, if there's something going on, what are you doing about it? And if that thing you're doing about it, is it good enough? And is there another level? Are you going to the best of the best? Are you going the best of the best? Or are you putting up with? Because putting up with is not so good. Don't put up with. Go for the next best. Go to the best. Find that thing that's going to really heal you, to really move you forward, to really shift you. So if you want to do some work and you want to do some shifting, type in here right now, I am ready. Hey, well done, Leanne. So pleased you're drinking water. That's it. That's so funny. Well done, well done. I'm glad I've inspired you to drink. If all I've done today is inspire people to drink water, I think that's an amazing achievement. I really do. Absolute amazing achievement. Because it's one of the best medicines on the planet, good clean water. But the question is, what are you doing next? What are you doing next? What are you going to do today? What are you going to do tomorrow to take you to the next level? And I really look forward to connecting with those of you that have typed in, I am ready, because I will be contacting you. We will be setting up a time and a date. We will be having a free 20-minute session to ascertain where you are and whether there's a rapport, and whether you want to do some more work with me in some capacity. And I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really excited about that. So I just love working with people. So I have my water too. Fantastic. Love it, love it, love it, love it. I want to thank you all. I really want to thank you all for engaging today. It's been fun. I've enjoyed it. It brings joy to my day. I've got a table of people next to me. There's 2, 4, 6 people. They've met for lunch. They've all bought food along, and they're giggling and laughing in the joy. And it's just so nice to be in that joy energy right now, listening to these people laughing. So on that note, I'm going to bid thee farewell. I'm going to say namaste, and I really look forward to connecting with you very, very soon. And if it's not before next Thursday, I really do hope to see you here again next Thursday at midday. Namaste, namaste, namaste. See ya.
You guys met?